the legend, Sam Elliott.
You got to quit with that legend stuff.
Okay, so, my
Thanks for
friend.
coming.
So your work on The Hero actually started with your work on your previous film with this writer director Brett Haley, which was I'll See You in My Dreams. It was a wonderful, wonderful film, 2015. How did you first meet Brett to work on that one?
I got a call from an agent saying there's this guy, Brett Haley, who wants to meet you.
It's that simple.
Yeah, it's the way boy, this thing is loud. Figure it out here in a minute. Anyway, I went and met Brett. I read his script initially, and I knew that Blythe Danner was attached to it. But I kind of had a big question in mind about the fact that the director was like 31 years old. And I thought, wow. I went and met him, and it was like 2 minutes into that meeting, and I thought, wow, I want to work with this kid. You know, Brett's a smart guy. He not only writes and directs, he edits as well. He does it all. You know, he's just one of those brilliant young filmmakers that any actor would be lucky to work with.
And it was out of your sort of press tour for that film.
Yeah, we did a long press tour, the two of us, and 4 Dreams, and then, you know, traveled back and forth across the country a couple of times and into the South, and, you know, spent a couple of weeks together, basically on the road, and lots of air miles and lots of meals and a couple of drinks along the road, and, you know, you get to know people pretty intimately, and, you know, I came to have a lot of regard for Brett, and really love the kid as not only a creative force, but just the kid himself.
Yeah.
And I think it's mutual, and he went home and he had all this info on me based on all this gabbing we'd done, and he and Mark Bass sat down and wrote the script.
Now, did you know before he went to go write this thing that he was working on something specifically for you like that? Or did he come back to you afterwards and be like, hey, Sam?
Yeah, he just told me after he'd gone home, we were talking on the phone, and he just said, we're writing something for you. I didn't have a clue what he was writing.
So when you
We
first...
actually, in the beginning, we talked about doing a Western together, oddly enough.
So when you read the screenplay for The Hero, it was not called The Hero initially.
Yeah, it was called, and it was in treatment form. The first time I saw it, it was only like a dozen pages, maybe 15 pages, most of it photographs and a little bit of text. But the gist of what it was all about was pretty obvious where it was going to go, and it was called Iceberg, which I loved the title. I still love the title. I missed the title. And it's represented in the film on Offerman's screensaver page on his, you know, on his laptop, and you kind of get the idea. But I thought that was really like a perfect title for a movie about a washed-up actor somehow, and what it put in there. You know, the whole theory about what you see in an iceberg is, you know, the 1/8 above the water line and the 7/8 below that support the thing above the water line that really are what it's all about, but a mystery somehow.
Well, in reading the screenplay and working on the film, you know, there are certain elements that you're like, okay, that's very meta, that's sort of me, and obviously there are other ways that it's not. But, you know, would you sort of, to play an actor, playing an actor who's trying to reinvent himself and trying to do away with like an image so he can do other things, like in what ways did you feel like you really got who Lee is and what his struggle was?
Well, I certainly understand him because I'm an actor, and you know, this is coming on 49 years nearly. So I get that, and I get the actor's struggle. I understand what it's about. What wasn't familiar ground for me, although struggle were the choices that Lee made and the sacrifices that he made. He really pretty much screwed up his entire life in pursuit of his career. There's like 4 elements of the character that really have nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
One is that I've been married to Catherine for 33 years. We've been together for 39 years. I love my daughter more than anyone in the world. I don't have cancer. And thanks. And I don't smoke dope all day. So apart from that, I understood Lee, I think, pretty well.
Well, because you've been at it for 49, not quite 50, 49, like, what was it that first made you want to become an actor? Like, what role?
That thing right there behind the screen. I grew up in Sacramento, California, and I used to go to a little theater that was, I don't know, probably half this size in terms of the seating capacity. And I went to Saturday matinees like religiously after I got done with my chores, so to speak, my yard work stuff. That was like my reward. I got to go to the movies, and they had like Flash Gordon cereals and Tom Mix cereals, and you know, and first-run films as well as some old films. I remember watching a lot of black and white movies in those days, but it's just whatever that thing is about going into a dark theater with no distractions other than what's going on up on the screen and being carried away by the phenomenon of those lights jumping around behind a piece of celluloid, you know, back in those days. And I just thought, wow, that's something I really would love to do, and was single-minded about it. And, you know, till I decided to hit the road and go down there. My mom was totally supportive of it, always encouraged me to do it. My dad thought I was a total idiot and a dreamer about it. And, my mom lasted long enough. She died a week short of 97, so she saw it happen. My dad died at 54 when I was 18 and just kind of dreaming about doing it, so he never got to see it happen. But he'd probably be tickled today about it.
What actors inspired you? Like who were
Gary
the heroes?
Cooper. Gary Cooper was the first one. I loved Cooper, loved all his films, and there's something about his manner. You know, he seemed like a stand-up guy, you know, a gentleman and a good man. You know, I just always liked Gary Cooper, Jimmy Stewart. I loved Wayne's movies, but didn't really identify being a John Wayne character. You know, I always thought John was a little bigger than life. You know.
How did you get your SAG card?
I got it at 20th Century Fox when I was doing episodic television over there. The first job, actually, that I did at Fox as a contract player was a television series named, it was called Felony Squad, with Howard Duff and Dennis Cole. I remember the first day I was working, we were working in a little gas station right next to Fox over on Pico, and I was in this grease pit. They came in to question me, being the two detectives or whatever the hell they were. And I remember just kind of being starstruck that it was Howard Duff. And I knew Dennis because he was hanging around with some girl that was in that contract program at the same time. But Howard kind of put me, wow. Anyway, that was when it started. It wasn't long after that, you know. It was a catch-22. There is a catch-22 about getting into the guild. You know, you can't get in unless you have a card, or you can't work unless you have a card. But you can't get a job unless you have a card. You know, it's like,
It's still the same way, unfortunately. Nothing's changed. When you, over the years, whether you were working on episodic TV to feature films, big studio films, playing so many different roles, and now you're at a stage in the movie business where there's been such a seismic shift in the way movies are made, the way they're distributed, the way they're seen. And to be sort of in this independent film scene between Hero and movies like I'll See You in My Dreams, how, like, do you find it exhilarating to work at that pace doing an independent film? How long did it take you to make The Hero?
18 days.
18.
The budget was like $1.2 million, which is pretty incredible. And it speaks well of film. It's truly an independent film, and you hear a lot about indie movies and all that stuff, but on some level, some of them are, not all certainly, but some of them are tied to major studios. But this thing was way out of Hollywood in terms of its funding and production and everything else. It's truly an indie film. It is a different world from when I got in it. You know, this whole digital shift that's happened in our world has totally revolutionized the movie business. And, I'm glad I was there when it was filmed that they were making movies with, and it took a little longer, took a lot longer actually. And,
Sure.
but there was something about it, you know, there was a purity to it or something different. I'm not sure exactly what, but if I was a cinematographer, I could probably give you a more intelligent thought about it. But it was different, but I was glad I was there. It was like being glad I was there to work with some of the guys that I got an opportunity to work with at the end of their time.
Well, when it comes down to it, the best place to see a movie is right at that thing that you just pointed at the beginning of this conversation. I don't care if you're watching a movie on your phone. Well, you should not watch a movie on your phone. Let's be clear. Like, you know, TVs, I don't care how big your TV is, the shared experience of being in a theater, and especially, I mean, this place, the ArcLight, Hollywood ArcLight, this is my happy place. I love it here. It's the best place to see me. I'm totally going on track. Let's go back a little bit to making Hero, and I gotta tell you, you know, Laura Prepon she just has like she just pops off that screen. She's got this chemistry, this personality. Like, tell me about working with her and the first time you met her to rehearse working on this movie. Like, tell me about when you knew that you had that chemistry with her.
I think Laura's really, you know, destined to do a lot of film work. I mean, she looked like a movie star to me in this thing. And that's not a term I even ever use, really. I kind of bristle at it, actually. I wasn't a big watcher of the 70s show, although I'm watching with I'm working right now with two of the kids that starred in it, Daniel Masterson and Ashton, on this thing I'm doing for Netflix. That said, whenever I was swimming the channels around and I saw that redhead, I always stopped to watch her because I thought she was compelling, and I thought she was a cut above in the intelligence world than those other doofuses that were on that. So I always found her intriguing. And she came one day to visit on the ranch to sit over there, and that's where I met her the first time. And I just said, wow. And I knew when I met her. She came over and said hi to me, and I just knew that we were going to do something in this picture. Something good. And the opening sequence, the first day we shot, not the opening sequence, but the first day we shot all of the stuff at Offerman's apartment when I go to buy the dope from him. And we're sitting around watching a Buster Keaton film and talking about other people's dreams, you know. It was a wonderful day, and it was like a 15-page day.
Oh, wow.
And we shot it out in 8 hours. I mean, we were so ready to go to work when this thing started that we got it done, and it was very efficient. But after working with Nick for all morning, and then the mid-afternoon was when there's a knock at the door, and it's Prepon coming to buy her pills or whatever she's there for, and it was like, Christ. So she walked in the door and looks over at me and said, hi. And I just thought, that was it for me. He was still with him. And I didn't have a mustache. And it like ruined the whole fucking interview because all Regis was fixated on was my lip. And why how could you possibly shave your mustache? It's like, you know, I mean, somebody showed me something on the internet, on her phone, like a month ago, this contest with me and Tom Selleck. And there were, like, people could vote for who had the best mustache. And I was like, Jesus, it's like, I don't know, the iconic mustache. I've heard iconic mustache, not just mustache, so, you know, iconic mustache. It's ridiculous. I'm just thankful I got a head full of hair because it allows me to change my look, you know, literally. You know, I'd shave my head for a job any day.
Well, the stash is cash.
Yeah, the stash is cash.